Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Ships of Naval Action. Today we're taking a look at the Hercules, and as usual we're going to begin with the history of her. So, she is actually of unknown origins. Some think she is Russian, others think she's American, however nobody knows her true origin. She was formerly known as the Duke of Palma. She would later receive the name Hercules. She would sail under Captain William Coffin to Buenos Aires on the 22nd of December, where she sailed from Liverpool and consigned to Diego Britain, which was a English merchantman, or an English merchant. In Buenos Aires, she would be ordered, essentially, she was sold to those responsible to assembling a second squadron for the Argentinian Navy, and she joined in the Argentinian Navy and joined the squadron on the 4th of January 1814, and she was chosen as flagship by the commander Guillermo Brown. On the 10th of March 1814, Brown, now the commander or the flag captain, the leader of the squadron, Commodore I guess, would attack a royalist fleet, which would be the royalist for the Spanish, because at this time Argentina was part of the Spanish colonies, if I remember correctly. During this battle, the Hercules would run aground. There was some fierce battling, however the Spanish in the end would manage to repel the attacks with heavy losses to both the Spanish and the Argentinians. On the 11th of March, the battle would shortly resume, however the Hercules was able to unground themselves and withdrew temporarily until the 15th of March, where they would get some reinforcements of around 50 men. They would take the island and force the Spanish to run away. The island being the Isla Martin Garcia. On the 14th of May, the Hercules would be part of another naval battle, the Naval Battle of Buceo, where again the Argentinians and the Spanish would fight. During this battle, Brown would get his right leg wounded, it broke, and he would, on board the Hercules, return to Buenos Aires to recover. He would, however, set sail again before he recovered, and on the 23rd of June 1814, the Spanish would surrender. So at Montevideo, they would surrender, and the captain, Mr. Brown, was there for the surrender. Following the successful campaign by the Argentinians against the Spanish, Mr. Brown would actually receive the Hercules as a reward, and he would spend some time essentially being a privateer. However, in 1817, the British would capture the Hercules, and they would actually try them as pirates. The Hercules was condemned as a pirate ship, and yeah, the British seized all of her goods and the ship. So, she was trialed, the ship was trialed. The ship was a pirate for a while. A pirate ship, to be specific. However, none of the crew were pirates. The courts didn't rule them as pirates, so this was seemingly an attempt by the British to seize the ship and the cargo, and not actually a legit pirate stance. And London would actually overturn the sentence. However, the ship, its guns, its loot, everything were never returned. So essentially, she was, seized by the British. So, in naval action, what is the Hercules? Well, she's an 18-pound fifth-rate frigate. She has 18-pounders on her gun deck, she has 9-pounders on her weather deck, and 6-pounders on her quarterdeck. She can also carry carronades on all of those decks. She isn't a heavily armed ship though, despite having 18-pounders, and that is, as you can probably see, the 18-pounders, there's only 5 of them on each side. A normal frigate would have anywhere between like 26 and 30 18-pounders, so this has like a third amount of 18-pound cannons. So she isn't really a capable ship in that regard. 18-pounders, still solid however. 9-pounders on the weather deck makes it comparable to something like a Surprise-ish. There's 20 of them. So on each side you essentially end up with 15 guns per side, plus the 2 guns on the weather deck or on the quarterdeck. So that's 17 guns. Surprise has, I believe, a similar amount on each broadside, however 9-pounders and 6-pounders. So a lighter armament. The Hercules is she has a bit of a unique armament because of the 5 lower gun ports. She is the only frigate that has 3 levels of gun decks, if you want to call it that, with the quarterdeck, the weather deck, and the gun deck. But the gun deck armament, it isn't a huge, the quarter deck armament, it still isn't so huge. I would say the Hercules is comparable to the Surprise, and you can see the same in her speed and her whole setup. She isn't really anything spectacular, but she is a unique ship, and she is a solid ship. You can't go wrong with her, but I wouldn't really consider her anything special either. So, I think that concludes the Hercules for today. I do hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and all of that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!